1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
I had a brand new little boy, Jim, or James. So they became known as Jim. So that's a bit of a strange one. During their growing up years, they both had a pet dog called Toy, which is a bit weird. And these things went on. And as they grew into sort of adulthood, they both became like mechanics. They both drove blue Chevrolet cars and certain things like that. But more importantly, they both got married, again, all independent of each other. And incredibly, they both married a lady called Linda. So these two Jims who didn't know the other twin existed, they married somebody. This is a true story. Oh. This is absolute. Right, so just let me carry on. They both married somebody called Linda. After a few years, I don't know whether at the same time, but they both divorced. And they remarried, right? And you won't believe this, Gladys, but they both remarried somebody called Betty. Incredibly, both of these twins in separate lives had divorced their first wife called Linda and remarried somebody called Betty. They both had a son, and one of them called their son James Allen, A-L-A-N. The other Jim called his son James Allen, A-L-L-E-N. And this was really just incredible, these coincidences, if that's what they were. They finally found each other. I don't know how they found each other, but in 1979, and one of them, I guess, was looking at their ancestry or something like that. And they met. For the first time, they realized they were twins. And they discussed, got together. They eventually wound up on television being interviewed because their case became kind of not just a national, but an international thing of interest. And sort of neuroscientists have investigated it. And really, so much of it cannot be explained, certainly by the fact that they were twins. So that was a coincidence we looked at last week, which is, for the most part, way beyond anything we could explain. It's inexplicable. So what is your view of that, Gladys? Do you have any views on that kind of coincidence?
That is too coincidental for me. Too much coincidence. I'll find it hard to believe that. Trust me. I'll find it very hard. It's wow. It's like a wild tale. Not even a good story could be that perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if you anyone who wants to look at this story, if you Google the two Jims, Ohio, which is where they live, they were born and brought up. Two Jims, wow. Ohio, you will find the story. It's absolutely verified by doctors, scientists, everybody else, and it became quite a unique story in the history of twins. Really, they didn't even know they had a twin, so that was quite remarkable. But moving on from that, I'd like to look at something. Have you heard of the Hoover Dam, either of you? The Hoover Dam in America?
No.
Well, the Hoover Dam sits. It's an incredible construction. It sits astride the border of Arizona and Nevada. Nevada is the state where Las Vegas is in. And I visited the Hoover Dam last year, and it is quite the most incredible human construction. Now, very briefly, the purpose was to with the Colorado River, to irrigate the areas for hundreds of miles around, because it was like desert. You may know that Las Vegas is basically built in a desert, and they didn't have any real water to speak of there, and it would never have grown to what it is today without the Hoover Dam. Now, that was built in
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang, with fun.
In 1931 and completed in 1935. And the amazing thing is that the sad thing is, I suppose, about 96 people died. Some accounts say it was just over 100, but let's say 96 died in the construction or the preparatory work for the dam. But the amazing thing is, well, I'll tell you, the first and last people who died of these 96 people. Now, the first one was a guy called John Tierney. Okay, John. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, he was called John Tierney, and he was actually surveying the Colorado River in 1921 as to where the dam was actually going to be placed. Well, he was hit by flash floods, was John Tierney, and he died. And it happened to be on December the 20th in 1921. John Tierney, the first victim of the Hoover Dam. Now, it was built in 4 years ahead of schedule, and as I say, about 96 people gave their lives to this huge construction. And the last person to die was he was hit by a water intake tower on the Arizona side, and it caused him to die. The thing was that guy was Patrick Tierney, and he was the son of John Tierney, who was the first person to die in 1921. So the father and son both died, first and last people to die in that construction. And interestingly, Patrick also died on December the 20th. Now, as I say, these are all verified facts. And I wonder, what is your view of that, Cuz? How does that grab you, that coincidence?
Well, you know, when people say that stranger things have happened in life, and you think, well, I've seen it all, I've heard it all. And then you hear something like this, you think, well, hang on a minute, I haven't heard it all. There are a lot of mysteries in life, aren't there? Quite a lot of things that are mysterious, that you can't really explain. And this is one of them. So is the gym ones as well, the twins. I think it's a coincidence.
You still think so? The same dates they died, father and son. Yeah, it may be just coincidence, but really it leads to a question I'd like to put to both of you. Now, let's say, so 96 people died in that brilliant construction. I mean, to actually see it is awe-inspiring. To think human ingenuity built that, and they were able to irrigate.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.